Hey now, what is up? It's nutritionist Trisha Mandis, your healthy weight loss and optimal eating expert here, and I am super pumped and totally dancing behind the screen right now. You might hear my snaps, but we have 45 seconds left until this webinar starts. It's called How to Finally Lose Weight for Good Without Eating Less and Love the Process. So, if you don't have pen and paper with you, I highly suggest going and getting that right now. We have about 30 seconds left because I know you're definitely going to want to take some notes. And if you don't have some water or some tea, go grab that too so you can get comfy and stay hydrated and feel good and get pumped. But until then, I'm snapping and I'm dancing. All right, here we go. Welcome to the webinar. I am so psyched you're here. All right, here we go. As I mentioned, I'm nutritionist Trisha Mandis, your healthy weight loss and optimal eating expert, and I am so excited you're here for this webinar called How to Finally Lose Weight for Good Without Eating Less, no joke, and Love the Process. And psst, it's also the healthiest way to lose 1 to 3 pounds a week and keep it off for good but actually feel great. So that's me, Trish in the pink, your host for this webinar in the next hour. So is this training for you? Because if it's not, I don't want to waste your time. So this training is for you if you want to lose 20 to 100 pounds and you've been trying for years to lose it, but as time goes on, you're gaining more weight. This training is for you if you try to lose weight, but nothing has worked that you could actually stick to, especially for years, and get results. This training is for you if you want to lose weight and keep it off in a way that makes you feel good and that you don't have to struggle and fight yourself to stick with. You want to stay right here if you want to get out of that cycle of lose weight, gain weight, try again, fail again. You want to get this figured out. This training is for you if, most importantly, you want to be in really good health as well as lose weight. You want to be in better health than you've ever experienced possibly or been in years. But you're scared of getting knocked down again. This training is for you if you just don't know what to do anymore and you just don't understand why you can't lose weight because you know you're trying. You're wondering, is it me? Is there something wrong with me, maybe an undiagnosed disease, and that's why I can't lose weight? Okay, if any of those things sounded like you, I want you to stay tuned. This training is not for you if you want to lose an inch off your waist in 24 hours and would rather take pills or speed to lose weight as soon as possible. This training is not for you if you have zero desire to put any work into changing how you eat. This is also not for you if you want to get thin or jacked at any cost and don't care about longevity and continuously getting healthier. This training isn't for you if you don't want to learn something new and don't want to put the effort into making new changes that stick for sustained results. And this also isn't for you if you're offended by a little adult language. So this webinar has a little bit of PG-13 language in it, okay? Nothing crazy, but yeah, I do like to express myself and use adult language to do that. So I have a question for you. What would your life look like if every day you were energized and confident? You loved looking at yourself in the mirror. You ate whenever you wanted until you were full because it was a good thing for your body. What would your life look like if every day your food tasted freaking awesome? How would you feel if every day you woke up and you felt no shame or guilt in eating? None. What if eating actually made you feel better and fueled your creativity, your mental clarity, your relationships, and work? How would you feel if you continually lost weight, got healthier, and happier in the process? In the next 45 minutes, you're going to learn the system behind losing 1 to 3 pounds a week without counting calories, no tracking macros or anything like that. And you'll learn the system behind becoming the healthiest you've possibly ever been. So how would you feel if you were excited and 100% confident in getting in front of the camera, speaking publicly, or in meetings? How would you feel if you had zero hesitation about being naked for sexy time, buying new clothes, or taking pictures of yourself? What if the mental energy and time you waste thinking about your weight disappeared? How many years have you already wasted agonizing over your weight? You no longer want to feel defeated, shameful, or embarrassed because of your weight. So what if the more you ate, the more you actually lost weight, and in that process, you weren't petrified about gaining the weight back? What if you were so confident that what you were enjoying eating was the best thing for your weight loss and your long-term health? Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about today. The system that could help you to finally lose weight for good and keep it off in a way you can love. So stick around, because at the end of the webinar, I'm also going to give you my Healthy Weight Loss Now blueprint for free. So this is the systems and steps that I have my clients go through to actually get these results. So you're going to make sure that you get that. And P.S., I'm not selling you anything on this training either. So I'm not going to ask you to listen to this for 45 minutes and then the last 15 I'm telling you to buy something. That's not going to happen. This is all just helpful content for you, but you definitely want to stick around to the end, because there's some good stuff at the end, including this Healthy Weight Loss Now blueprint. So does any of this sound like you? You already eat healthy. Maybe you have a sugar junk food binge in there sometimes, but generally you eat pretty healthy right now. You've tried many different diets in the past and have tried to lose weight many times, but right now you're the heaviest you've ever been. And despite the hard work you put into eating healthy, you've never lost weight long term without killing yourself and hating the process anyway. So you just want to feel better in your body. You're sick of thinking about your weight every day and feeling like a failure because of it. You don't think your body reflects your true beauty, success, and intelligence. Worse, you know that other people don't take you as seriously or don't think you're as successful or capable because of your weight, which is total bullshit, by the way. That's weight discrimination is freaking awful. But however, you're still thinking about it, and it might actually be happening. So you're just not as confident in who you are right now and how you feel and look, and you hate that. So you're fed up. You want to do something about it that works. Your last diet change ever. But you're scared of trying again. You're afraid you'll only be thin for a few months or a year, and then when something stressful happens, you'll, quote, blow it. You've been burned before, you've tried many times, and you don't want to fail again. So I'm really happy you're here, because I may have the answer to your problem to help you, your last diet change you will ever have to make. So I'm going to explain the 5 shifts you need to make to lose weight now, enjoy the process, and keep it off. Warning though, before I go into those 5 shifts, there is no calorie counting. There is no tracking macros. There is no meal replacement shakes or tiny prepackaged food that you have to buy. There is no pushing the plate away or forcing yourself to eat less. There is no insane exercising. No forcing yourself to eat less, as I said again. So know that going into this. This is not some crazy restrictive bullshit that you've already tried 500 other times. Not 500, but you know what I'm saying. So more on the 5 shifts in just a few minutes. So who am I? Trisha Mandis, MPHN. I am a nutritionist specializing in healthy weight loss and longevity. So we want those things to be one and the same. Losing weight, but increasing your lifespan at the same time. You might not realize it, but there's a lot of weight loss diets that can actually decrease your lifespan. So that's not what I'm about. I currently live in South Carolina with my husband, Eric, who is a chef, and our cat, Philly. Food is medicine is something that I believe, but I believe that because of the scientific evidence that supports it. So you're going to learn a little bit about this today. But food has the power to stop the progression of and reverse a lot of diseases, and including losing weight without having to restrict how much you eat. And those food changes and those lifestyle changes do the same exact thing. So it's pretty amazing. I also lived in Finland for 2 years to get my Master's of Science in Public Health Nutrition. I've also trained with the Wellness Forum Institute of Health Studies, have a nutrition certificate from the Nutrition Center and Cornell University, and I love to eat. I never count calories. I never have my clients count calories, and I never push the plate away and feel no shame in that whatsoever. I'll also tell you that my husband and I started a Healthy Dinners to Go service in Columbia, South Carolina, where we lived. That's what happens when a chef and nutritionist fall in love and your husband's super supportive of your dreams. That was a really awesome, amazing experience to do together too. I also work at the University of South Carolina. We moved down here because I got a job as a nutritionist doing intervention work in research in an inflammation study. So this is separate from my USC work, but know that I also work in academia as well. So you ready to dive in? All right, here we go. The 5 shifts you need to make to finally achieve permanent weight loss without counting calories, and how to achieve optimal health at the same time. And oh yeah, how to love the freaking process, because if you don't, it's not going to work. All right, shift number 1. Stop using systems that have continuously failed you. You haven't failed the system, okay? I want to repeat that because I'm concerned you might think that there's something wrong with you and you just can't do it, okay? Write this down. You have not failed the system, okay? You haven't failed. The system has failed. You need a new paradigm, okay? So here's what your weight loss journey may have already been looking like, okay? You maybe have been prescribed speed from your doctor, or taken drugs to try and lose weight, or meal replacement shakes, or track your calories and track your exercise and track your macros, and you've tried paleo, keto, vegan, eating less, Atkins, South Beach, the list goes on. So you feel like you've literally tried everything and you've gone kind of bonkers about it. So now you're just like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if there's something wrong with me. Right? This is what, as time goes on, your weight, it goes up, and you do a diet and it goes down a little bit, but then it goes back up even more. And then you try again, it goes down and maybe plateau, then it goes up and it goes down. But it gradually just, if you see my mouse here, it's just continuously going up as time goes on, despite you trying. These down dips, this is you trying, okay? I know that you're trying. So if your weight loss and health strategy worked, you wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't still be struggling, okay? So this is you trying. And if the system you were using actually worked, it would keep going down, okay? Because I know you're totally capable and there's nothing wrong with you. If the system worked, you'd be able to do it. It's that simple. Examples of systems not working. You've been to 10 nutritionists over the last 15 years, and they all give you a calorie limit, and if you vary from that plan at all, you don't succeed. So then you just think, I just can't do it. It's me. I just need to work on my willpower. Another example of systems not working is you actually eat healthy. You just eat meat and veggies for the last 3 years. You even cut out soda, but you still haven't lost weight. When life gets stressful, it's impossible to keep your weight loss system going. That's another sign that it's not an optimal system. It should support you in times of stress, not make life harder. Other examples of systems you've used in the past that aren't working, thinking sugar is the problem, or just one single food or nutrient is the problem. The rest of the diet would only work if only I didn't have a sugar issue. That's what you tell yourself. And then you think it's your lack of self-discipline. Wrong. You've tried exercising for 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, and although you lost weight and ate only 900 calories a day, you were freaking miserable and cranky. And you just couldn't do it anymore because you felt like shit. So what's the point of putting all that effort into losing weight if you can't feel good about it? When it comes down to it, everything you've tried either doesn't work, it doesn't stick, or you're hungry and angry put together, and it's just not worth it. So what a system that does actually work, this is what that looks like. Okay, so here's that graph, but here our weight is going down as time is going on. It's a complete opposite, okay? So in the beginning, you start to lose more weight in the beginning, especially if you have more weight to lose. So this could be even 1 to 5 pounds a week. Again, if you have more, it's more likely to be closer to 5, but if you have less, it will most likely won't be as much, okay? And then you'll still continually, gradually over time, lose weight, and then all the weight comes off and it stays off. It's not going back up. So this system that looks like this, that an optimal system, it should look like you should feel full, satiated, and love the taste of your food every day, every meal. You should be able to eat as much as you want, and that doesn't mean of any food, but within the guidelines, okay? Every single day, every single meal, eat as much as you want, okay? You'd be happy to eat that way for the rest of your life. And now, it might be hard to think about eating one way for the rest of your life, but if it is, just think, I'd be able to eat this way for the next month, for the next 6 months, for the next year, okay? But you'd be happy doing it. You'd get leaner, happier, and stronger every month and every year, and honestly love the process. That is an optimal system. You never count calories, and you never worry about portion sizes ever. You'd achieve weight loss in the short term and continually until you're at a safe and ideal weight. You'd get healthier, more energetic, and confident at the same time. All right, so here's another expert graph of mine. So as your weight is coming down, you have a little more weight loss in the beginning, still have continued weight loss until you reach your optimal weight, and then it stays off, okay? But at the same time, your longevity, your energy, your confidence in feeling good is continually increasing at the same time as well. A lot of people, when they do the crash diets, when the graph was zigzag, 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 their longevity, their energy, their confidence in feeling good goes out the toilet. So again, it's kind of like, what's the point? So in your day-to-day, being in this new paradigm looks like waking up more energized, even earlier than you're used to getting up, just naturally. You eat breakfast, as much of it as you want. You go to work, and you kick ass, and you put your best into it. You're not thinking about how gross you think you look in the mirror. You're not worrying that people aren't taking you seriously in meetings because you're fat. You're not worrying that your body doesn't match the beauty of or success of your company. Like all that mental mind, I'm refraining myself from dropping an F-bomb right now, but all of that mental cloudiness, that distraction, it goes out the window. It's gone. And you don't have to be at your optimal weight to achieve that. But just being in a system and a process that you know actually works and you're doing the right thing, all that goes out the window. It's awesome. Instead, you're focusing on being creative, rocking meetings, making clients happy, writing amazing copy, and being your best self. You're avoiding treats and crap food at work, and it's not a problem. You don't agonize over it. You love the loads of food you eat, and you don't have cravings. You're happy, You're not cranky at your employees or family because you're chronically hungry, in pain, or frustrated with your health. After work, you have energy to work out and you actually like it. You're 100% confident when the camera comes on to film you behind the scenes. You don't just get headshots taken with the camera like above your face or get pictures taken with like a big object in front of you, blocking the view of your body, okay? You don't care about that anymore. When you're hungry, you eat. Whether at home, traveling, or at work, but you continue to lose weight in that same process. You eat as much as you want, you get full without guilt, and get leaner, stronger, and more energized in the process. 2 p.m. comes around and you don't need to pick me up. All the mental games of the old systems disappear. No more wasting time, wasting years, worrying, franticing. I feel like I didn't say that right. Franticing that you just don't know how to get a grip on your weight. That show is over. You no longer feel guilty for eating. You're no longer confused about the choices you're making. You're 100% confident in your food, 100% confident in your body, regardless of how much you weigh, and you love the process of losing weight. You enjoy seeing yourself naked, being in a bathing suit, and you're excited for sexy time. So it's easy to live this way and lose the weight even when life or business knocks you on your ass. Your diet and optimal habits makes handling stress in life easier, not harder, because you know it's something you can always count on and it's there for you. So this is Nadia Frin. She's a medical doctor, has her master's in public health. She currently lives in Finland, and she recently became a client of mine, and this is what she's had to say about being in this new system. I'm so happy to eat until I'm full. I don't feel guilty when I eat now, and that gives me so much pleasure. That's a new thing for me. I know I'm headed in the right direction, and that feels good. I've lost 9 pounds in 5 weeks too, which is amazing because I was losing my confidence before. I felt helpless. I was eating less and exercising, and it wasn't working even though I was really trying. So just another note on Nadia. She's wonderful, amazing, and it's just so awesome to hear her just put her hands down on the table and just like smile and just like be freaking happy that she can eat. And like the trying to force herself to eat less and that system like not even working, for her to not have to worry about that is life-changing. For her to experience that for the first time in her life and then lose weight at the same time. It's awesome. She's awesome. Shift number 2. The totality of evidence, not stories or advice, is the guide behind this system, okay? So on the left here, I have a picture of mountains. You can even see the sky. You can see, like, the whole world, almost. We'll just pretend it's the whole world, okay? So you have a complete understanding of the totality of the evidence versus this little leaf here. You have one little micro bit in this huge system on the left and have no idea how it interacts with anything else, okay? So this leaf is like a story or advice, and the evidence is like seeing the whole picture on the left and understanding it completely. Okay, so here are examples of listening to stories or advice and not the evidence. Your friend tried a diet, said they got results, so you tried it. You read a new diet book, and because it had a lot of sources at the end of the book, you thought it would work for you. You're seeing a lot of testimonials or impressive case studies on a website, whether it's pictures of people's bodies that have changed, and you're like, okay, I can do that. You refer to Google to try and figure out what your problem is. You hear different sound bites all over the freaking place about food and nutrition and weight loss, so you try them all. And maybe not wholeheartedly, but not actually try the whole thing because you're just hearing these little tidbits and like kind of just dipping your toes in all these different buckets instead of completely diving into one. You've also probably dove into a whole bucket and really tried to, and it didn't work out. You hear an online health guru, quote, health guru, who fixed their health problems on their own and wants to share with you exactly what they did. And they're going to show you exactly what they did so you can save the 5 years it took them to figure it out. That's someone's story, okay? These are all those little leaves. They're these little individual pieces that are a piece of the big puzzle, but without all the puzzle pieces, it's highly likely that you're not going to succeed, okay? So when it comes to research, this is the hierarchy of evidence pyramid. So these are all the different types of studies that are done in science in regard to food and nutrition. So you have in vitro research, which is in cells, and animal studies like on mice, case studies, which could be a report about an individual patient from a doctor, case series, multiple people from a doctor, case control, they have a control group, cohort where you have a large group of people, hundreds of thousands of people that researchers follow forward in time and track what they're eating. They don't actually apply an intervention. They don't tell them to change anything. They just watch what they're doing and what health results they get, and then can do some analyses and figure out what type of food and activities and lifestyle things affect the diseases or longevity in the future. You have controlled trials, randomized controlled trials, where you actually put an intervention. You tell people to make changes, and they do or they don't, and you follow them over time. Systematic review. This is when you have a bunch of different studies, whether it's a bunch of cohorts or randomized controlled trials put together in one paper, which makes it stronger. And then a meta-analysis. It's a systematic review, plus they also do statistical analyses to actually show if what the studies were talking about was actually likely to be true or not. So if you just get a story from somebody, you're not getting any of this information. So this optimal eating system and optimal weight loss system is based on the totality of all of these different types of research, okay? And it's also important to know that you have to be able to prove that your information and the diet that someone is recommending to you, they have to be able to prove with the evidence that it's correct and healthy and the least harmful thing possible based on all these different types of research. If someone just says, well, that diet is wrong because of this, that doesn't make them right, okay? So you always want the evidence. You all ask for the studies from whoever is telling you to make a diet change. Just say, oh, okay, what evidence, what studies get you excited about that recommendation? Can you please show them to me? And I'm happy to let you know what I'm going to do, okay? When you understand what to look for and what to ask about the evidence, this is what's possible. You get that whole understanding, okay? Here's, I'm so excited to show you this. You may have seen this before, but you may have not, okay? So advanced heart disease is actually reversible. And this is a study that was done. And this is this picture is just from one person, although the study was done on more people. But it's a coronary angiogram. Oh, sorry about that. It's an angiogram, meaning it's a picture of one of this person's arteries, their left anterior descending artery, before and after 32 months of eating optimally without cholesterol-lowering medication. So you can see here the plaque is clogging the artery, meaning the blood can't flow through, increasing risk of heart attack, heart failure, and 32 months after just eating optimally, changing the diet, you see the plaque has removed itself naturally from the artery itself. Okay, so we know that this research is out there. Okay, after 12 years, Dr. Esselstyn conducted these angiograms, these pictures, on 11 of his 18 patients. 100% of those who got the angiograms, they all stopped the progression of their heart disease. It stopped. It didn't get any worse, which means it might not actually kill you. You might die of something else instead of heart disease. While 73% experience a regression of their heart disease, meaning they reverse it from the food, okay? So this is just one study. And I know you're probably not that concerned about heart disease for yourself right now, But I just want you to know that this is a piece of the puzzle of all of the evidence, okay? Because you don't want to lose weight but eat your way into a heart attack at the same time. You want to be eating your way out of one, because if you eat a standard American diet or something typical to what Westerners eat, it's incredibly highly likely that you have plaque all throughout your arteries right now anyway. Here's another study. Dr. Dean Ornish, again, another researcher, has also reversed severe heart disease, and he did this in a controlled intervention trial where he had one group eating optimally, exercising, and meditating, and they all had advanced heart disease, and compared the heart disease outcomes with that group to a control group who was told to do whatever your doctor says, okay? Whatever your doctor says, I want you to do. So the frequency of chest pain for the people in the intervention group who changed their diet, it reduced by 91%. And this group was not on drugs, but their chest pain reduced 91%, whereas doctor's advice increased by 186%, okay? So those listening to their doctor actually got worse, which they showed when they looked up the average percent diameter stenosis, aka the clogged upness of the arteries. So the intervention group, those eating optimally, it regressed. They reversed their heart disease, okay? From 40 to 37.8%, the clogged upness reduced. Whereas those listening to the doctor's advice, it got worse. It progressed, okay? And this was a long study for an intervention study. A 5-year study is a long time. So that's really awesome. At 5 years, the frequency of angina in the intervention group reduced chest pain by 72%, and they still saw more disease regression at 5 years than at 1 year. And obviously, those who did the lifestyle changes had less cardiac hospitalizations. So now we're going to talk about coronary mortality rates in the rural Chinese. So I only have 1 or 2 more slides on the evidence, but what I want you to understand is, again, this optimal eating system is based off the totality of scientific evidence, okay? So there were no recorded deaths from coronary artery disease. I'm going to say that again. I just said it like it didn't mean anything. There were no recorded deaths from heart disease for males less than 64 years old over a 2-year period in a rural province in China. Nobody died of heart disease. That's Americans' #1 killer. And the same exact thing happened for women too in a different neighboring province of over 181,000 women in a 2-year period. Not one woman had a freaking heart attack. Okay? That is absolutely amazing. Their total blood cholesterol level concentrations were on average 127 milligrams per deciliter. Now, in the United States, if it's at 200 or less, they say that that's good. However, heart disease still exists in populations that have a total cholesterol level between 150 and 200. So it's rare. Heart disease is rarely seen if your total cholesterol is at 150 or lower, but you're using diet primarily to lower it versus just drugs. So keep that in mind. Their mean BMI was 20.5. So that's on the low end of a normal weight, okay? So they were eating themselves out of heart attacks. Their total blood cholesterol levels were really low, and they were very trim. And here's just one picture of a lot of the food they were eating. Okay? This is another study. This is a systematic review looking at if dairy actually helps us lose weight or not. So the authors looked at 49 randomized trials assessing the effect of dairy products or calcium supplements on the body, or on body weight. 41 of those studies showed no effect. I'm going to repeat that. 41 of 49 studies on dairy or calcium supplementations and weight loss, 41 found that there was no effect on dairy on weight loss. 2 actually demonstrated weight gain, 1 showed a lower rate of gain, and 5 showed weight loss. That's 86% of those studies showed that dairy does not promote weight loss. Okay, because as women, we're fed eat yogurt and drink milk and all this crap to help you lose weight. Well, when you look at the evidence, it doesn't match up. Okay, so just remember that the totality of evidence is what is important and what you want to ask for when someone's telling you to change your diet. All right, you want to eat and live according to the best evidence science knows to be true for preventing and reversing disease and for weight loss. They're one in the same. Okay? Keep that in mind. That's super important. Shift number 3, eating optimally versus trying every diet or just eating healthy. So eating optimally is the gold medal. It's the gold standard. It's the key that unlocks the weight loss and health results you want to get. Okay? Healthy is better than crap, but it's not the best. You've tried everything. You've tried for years. You've eaten just organic meat and veggies. That was healthy, right? You rarely ate out. You've exercised your ass off. You've ate less. You've counted calories a million times. You're totally over that. You've done all the shit you're supposed to do for weight to have come off by now, and it's still not working. So now you think you must have a disease that's stopping you from losing weight. Where has eating healthy gotten you? That's the question I have for you. Where has trying all of this gotten you? When optimal eating is at work, not just healthy, this is what happens, okay? You've seen this graph, but this is the goal, and this is what an optimal eating system gets you. And at the same time, the longevity, energy, confidence, feeling good, all that comes with it at the same time. Not this, okay? There's no calorie counting, no forcing yourself to eat less, no weighing your food, no counting macros, no diet pills, no meal replacement shakes, no insane exercising, no only eating organic, no diet pills or speed from your doctor, and the list goes on. How? How does this work? So I'm going to tell you. This is what you might want to write down as well. The number one goal of eating optimally, this is how it all works. This is how you lose weight without counting calories and without eating less, okay? You maximize nutritional density of the food that you're eating. So you have the largest amount of nutrition per pound of food, okay? So the most nutrition possible, that's going to help with your energy, your longevity, and feeling good and preventing you from getting freaking cancer in 10 years. You also, at the same exact time, want to minimize calorie density. Calorie density meaning the least amount of calories per pound of food. So you want to have the most amount of nutrition, the least amount of calories. However, you have to stay full. Maximize satiety, the feeling of fullness. Because if you're not full, you're going to feel like crap. You're not going to have energy, and you're not going to be able to do this long term. You need a certain amount of calories for your brain to function and for your body to function and to feel good and like do shit and work and be creative and stuff. So largest amount of nutrition, least amount of calories while staying full, okay? That's what this is all about. By eating a large quantity of food that's high in nutrition but low in calories and keeps you full at the same time, it's possible to improve your health and lose weight simultaneously for the long term. So this is a calorie density chart. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go into what every column is, what every single food is, but just to drive this point home a little more. So this is the amount of calories per certain food. So give you 2 examples. This is vegetables. We all know that vegetables are really low in nutrition, really low in calories, but really high in nutrition, okay? This is, I believe, a pound of spinach, 68 calories. That is a massive amount of spinach. You probably would not even eat that in a whole day, okay? 1 pound of oil, which I believe is about 2 cups, 4,013 calories, okay? So, by focusing on just eating these foods, which are the least calorie-dense foods that exist, these are also incredibly filling and satiated, which forces you to stop eating for like 3-4 hours at a time so you can go enjoy your day and do shit, okay? They're also the highest in nutrition. And then some of these are really high in nutrition too. However, they're also high in calorie density, so you just have to treat them a little differently to ensure that you get the nutrition from them without sabotaging your weight loss. And then there's other foods, according to the evidence that we looked at, don't promote weight loss and they don't promote longevity. So those are the types of foods that we want to focus on minimizing or avoiding. It doesn't mean you can't ever have them again, but there's a difference between a treat and having it for a special occasion versus eating it 3 times a week and keeping it in your house. So this is how it freaking works. It's nature's, it's God's, it's your higher powers like built system into your body for how you just freaking eat, and it's awesome. You just eat and the food tastes awesome. You can make so many amazing, filling, absolutely delicious meals with the vast, diverse amount of foods that are available in those groups. It's really awesome. So this is Swan Adams. She is a professor at the University of South Carolina. I had the privilege of assisting her. She's 44 years old, and I'm just going to read you her quote right now. I lost 24 pounds in 3 months eating optimally. My HbA1c is no longer in the diabetic range anymore. She reversed her type 2 diabetes. It went from 7.4 to 5.9 in 12 weeks. She reversed her diabetes in 12 weeks without eating less. She did not count carbs. She didn't do that. She achieved this weight loss and diabetes reversal after 20 years of unsuccessful Weight Watchers. She's also gone on my blog and talked about how she'd taken speed from the doctor and still that didn't work. So when she came to me, she thought that she couldn't lose weight because she tried for so long. And I told her, I'm happy to help you work to reverse your diabetes, but I want you to know that within that process, you're going to lose weight. Like, it's just going to happen, even though you can eat as much as you want. And she told me she got that email from me, and she laughed out loud because she thought I was full of shit. She's like, you don't know me. You don't know my body. But sure enough, 24 pounds in 3 months gone. And she did not work on increasing her exercise at the same time. She thought, in the last paragraph here, I thought I was just built this way. I used to think I had no willpower when it came to food. It was my dirty little secret. But now I know that's not true. For the first time in a long time, I feel I can truly change my health. Shift number 4. Having an eating and lifestyle plan that's optimized for your unique goals, lifestyle, and diagnoses that you may or may not have. Okay? So you've read diet books. You've read lots of them. You've joined online diet communities. You've done what you've been told to do. What happens when it doesn't work then? What do? How do you know if you're making a sabotaging mistake? If you don't actually get to interact with someone who understands your unique situation? What if you have a specific question? What if you have a disease or you're on medication on top of wanting to lose weight? Do the same recommendations apply to you? For example, what if you don't like to cook or you don't have time? You only eat out. You're allergic to XYZ. Your husband doesn't want to change his diet. Your workplace offers lunches 3 times a week. You're so stressed out about work you can't sleep. Okay? So how do those diet recommendations in the books you read, how do they apply to you in those situations then? How do you know if you need to change things based on these in order to make it work for you? Maybe you have no idea how diet can impact additional diagnoses that you might have. For example, polycystic ovarian syndrome. If you don't stop the progression of that disease, you have a highly increased risk of getting your ovaries removed and no longer having them. And that might be before you've had a chance to have a kid. And that might be something you really want. And then, because you're still not working on stopping the progression, you end up getting cancer, okay? So food can stop the progression of polycystic ovarian syndrome and even reverse it to the point that people can have kids again. So people will come to me, they just want to lose weight, but I'm like, whoa, we have a bigger issue here, and you could try and just do weight loss shakes and lose weight, but not stop the progression of this disease that it could really hurt you and affect your life. Rheumatoid arthritis can give you an increased risk of developing another autoimmune disease, being on drugs the rest of your life, and being in debilitating pain where you literally cannot walk up a flight of stairs. Chronic kidney disease, if the progression isn't stopped, versus just being managed with drugs, the next place you're headed is dialysis and then a kidney transplant. Okay, so food can also slow the progression or stop the progression of chronic kidney disease at the same time. So if you have other things going on, you don't just want cookie cutter recommendations from a book. You need to talk to a competent practitioner that can also help you potentially stop the progression of the disease or improve your outcomes with food as much as possible. But you also have to think about the medications that you're on, because a lot of those medications have insane side effects that may prevent you from gaining weight. They might actually hurt you more than the actual disease that you have. But if you understand how to help yourself with food, you may be able to work on getting off those medications with your doctor. But if you have the mindset that, like, I have one of these diseases, but I'm on medication, so I'm totally fine, that's not a safe outlook to have because you're at increased risk. If you want to be on the train that gets you to healthy weight loss the quickest, sanest, and most delicious way possible, cookie cutter recommendations will slow your progress, your results down, or they'll just straight up keep you stuck. Even if it's an optimal dietary pattern, even if you're in the system that I'm talking about, you don't want cookie cutter recommendations. You want something that's unique to you, so when you put the effort into it, you get the results as quickly as possible. Like, if you want to get over this and, like, stop the mental mind crap that's, like, holding you back in your life, like, just let's get it figured out. So this is Virginia Burton. She's someone who came to me because her doctor recommended. She called me, and she did, and she wanted to lose 75 pounds, and I saw in her application that she also had rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. And to me, that was the red flag. So this is what she said. She said, I wanted to lose 75 pounds when I called Trisha. But then she told me it's possible to stop the progression of rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. I didn't say it was possible to stop hers per se, but in general, that's possible to happen and maybe even reverse it. My debilitating pain went from a 9 to a 10, being really bad. She could walk up one flight of stairs max, but it went to a 1 to 2 in just 3 weeks. Her pain is almost completely gone in 3 weeks. I've reduced my indigestion medication to once every 5 days versus every day, and I've lost 20 pounds so far, and we're not even 2 months into the program yet, okay? So this is someone who just wanted to lose weight, and they talked to me, and now her whole entire life is improving. I tell her I feel like the universe really put us together at the right time because she came to me 3 weeks before she was supposed to go on a vacation in New Orleans with her husband. And she said last year on vacation she had to lay around the whole time and couldn't do anything because your joints are in so much pain, and you can't walk, you can't move. And within 3 weeks, she was able to go on vacation. She lost 5 pounds over vacation, by the way. And she was walking the entire time with her entire family. And that was just an amazing experience for her to have. And again, this is what Virginia's working on. Losing the weight, but increasing longevity, energy, confidence, and feeling good at the same time. Her weight is no longer doing this bonkers shit. Shift number 5 to make. This is the last one, and that's not having someone to hold you accountable and guide you until you've achieved results and can do it 100% on your own. The learning and educating you've done around nutrition hasn't worked. And I'm not saying you're a complete idiot. You're absolutely not. You probably know a lot more about nutrition than most average people for sure. But you've put a lot of work into it, and you've even hired a mindset coach or a therapist to just like, you feel like you have to just accept the fact that this is where you are and you've tried and nothing's going to work. So you've done all this self-help work to work through it as well. But even that acceptance and that work you're putting into just accepting it is still costing you time, and it's still costing you money, and it's still hard. Any other time in business or your life, when you wanted to get from point A to point Z, you invested in a mentor or a mastermind or people who you know were going to help you get to where you wanted to go faster than when you could do it on your own. Why not do that for your health? If this is something that you care that badly about and you really want it, and that makes me really happy that you want it, I highly encourage you to do that. A nutritionist, a competent nutritionist and coach, and when I say competent, I mean someone that can show you the proof behind the pudding, right? The evidence, the totality of evidence, give you the studies, fully explain why they're suggesting you do what they tell you to do, and encourage you to question them. A nutritionist and coach who knows their shit, that you can call on the phone, call them on their phone anytime, text them anytime until you've gotten it down on lock to the point that you don't need her anymore because you're golden and you got this shit on your own. So you're in the grocery store and don't know what to do. Who are you going to call? Okay? Ghostbusters. Sorry, I can't help it. But you want someone that is there for you 24/7, and it is their job to help ensure you get it and you do it and can answer your questions. And that's different from just going and seeing an RD for a 1-hour appointment and then, maybe going back a month later or maybe not. You're going to have shit that comes up in between those monthly appointments, and what are you going to do? So once you get all these 5 shifts, it's like you unlock the combination lock. One of my mentors and colleagues, Dr. Pam Popper, she uses this analogy a lot, that she talks about it in terms of an optimal eating diet system, but I like to think of it in terms of, achieving optimal health. It's you have to have every single number, every single shift, but also know all those numbers in the right order for the lock to unlock, okay? So once you get all those pieces, and it's not hard to do, once you get all those pieces, then the lock opens and you have it for life. It's really, really awesome. This is Marsha McKesh. She's an architect from Oregon that I had the pleasure of working with, and she says, I now fit comfortably into pants I haven't worn in several years, and I'm eating loads of food. My total cholesterol dropped 60 points in 6 weeks. I wish I'd done this years ago. I don't want you to be someone who says, I wish I'd done this years ago, especially if you hear this now and then you hear it again or hear from me 5 years later. I wish I'd done this years ago. This is Tom Owens, a professor at the University of South Carolina. He lost 35 pounds in 6 months, got completely off his blood pressure medication, and lowered his cholesterol by 63 points. No calorie counting. He did not ramp up his exercise, but the one thing he did do was get help. This is Beth. I lost 25 pounds. I'm getting compliments from friends, and the food tastes amazing. I can eat as much as I want. I don't think I'll ever go back to the old way of eating. I'm sleeping better, my digestion has improved, and my cholesterol, blood pressure, and A1C all has improved. Here's what Swan had to say. You met her earlier. She reversed her type 2 diabetes, about what she had to say about the food. She's like me. Her and I love to eat. And I never hold back with the quantity of food that I eat at all. But this is what she said. I was shocked when I ate your food. It was healthy, but it was good. I mean, it was really good. I had seconds of the mashed potatoes and gravy. And then I was more shocked. I was full. And then it came time to eat dinner, and I was still full. You and your husband have a gift, a real knack for making healthy food taste good. So, being my husband's a chef, and that I knew Swan from the university. We brought her some food so she could just taste it. And then there's me. So, I lost 20 pounds eating this way and have kept it off for 6 years. But it took me about 3 years to figure out how to do it on my own. And you can see this is a picture of me and my license. After I had read all the evidence and was just so excited. But it still took me time to figure out how to make it work for me because I was trying to figure it out on my own from reading books. And then I met my now mentor and colleague, Dr. Pam Popper, and worked with her. And now I got this shit down. And this is why the University of South Carolina hired me to work down there and move from Pennsylvania to work with them because they know I understand this information. So I've lost 20 pounds and kept it off for 6 years. So you can see my face here. My license, that's probably 7 years ago. And then this was me just a few weeks ago. So yeah, it's been totally awesome. And my favorite part is totally never worrying about my weight anymore. Not worrying about what I look like in clothes because I know I'm taking awesome care of myself because of the way that I eat and the way that I live. And so like that process in and of itself just makes you feel totally freaking awesome and confident. It's great. I love it. Again, focusing on these foods, that's what does it. That's it. It's so super easy for me, Swan, Marsha, everybody. And I want you to know that an optimal lifestyle for healthy weight loss, once you get it down, it's really hard to stop doing it. Where it's normally the complete opposite when you're dieting. It's like you have to force yourself to keep going, and it takes so much willpower and energy and effort. But doing it this way, it's like, you have the gold medal. You have all the numbers to the combination lock. And it's just like you have it in your back pocket at all times. And it's just always there for you. It's awesome. So quick recap. You learned on this webinar to stop using systems that aren't working and to stop blaming yourself. It's not you, okay? You are not the problem. There's nothing wrong with you. It's the systems that you've been using. The totality of the research, not stories or advice, is where you should get the information from. Okay, or the people telling you to eat a certain way, the totality of the evidence. Again, ask them for the studies, ask them for short-term, long-term studies, and ask them for a lot of them. I mean that. Do that. Eat optimally, not just healthy. There's a big difference, okay? You want that gold medal, not the bronze. It's essential to have an optimal eating plan that's optimized for your unique lifestyle and diagnoses. And to stop thinking that you could or can, stop thinking that you can or should do this on your own. Ask for help. It's totally okay. Ask for help from the right people. Interview the people before you just take their help. Now, you have a choice to make right now, okay? You're at a crossroads. That's one of the reasons why you're here. Are you going to try again to figure this out on your own? Or are you ready to end dieting forever with a proven research-backed system? Okay? Just like myself and my clients, many hundreds of whom are not on this slide right now. And again, it's not my system because I figured it out. It's based on the totality of evidence. Okay? And that's a good thing. So, you can take the winner's path at this crossroads, and you can see how this can be implemented into your life to help you finally lose weight and keep it off. The diet games, the guilt, the shame, all of that can stop here for you right now. You can take that road on the crossroads. Okay? So let's talk about you. Over the next 4 days, you have a chance to chat with me personally about you, to see if optimal eating and lifestyle changes are right for you. It's 100% free. Again, I'm not selling you shit right now, and I'm not pitching you on the phone either, okay? This is about you. So, I'm offering you an invite to apply for a free weight loss strategy session, okay? We'll chat for about 45 minutes on the phone or video chat and map out a plan that's best for you to lose 1 to 3 pounds a week without calorie counting, how we can get the system working for you. Together, we'll dial in on your biggest barriers to achieving healthy weight loss now and what you need to do to love the process and get results. So why do I do this? Why do I offer anyone on this webinar a chance, it's not guaranteed, to talk to me on the phone? Well, if you want me to personally help you lose 1 to 3 pounds a week, and if I think you're a good fit, I might invite you to become one of a select few of clients that I personally help until you've gotten results and are 100% able to do it on your own. So I'd be your personal nutritionist and food coach, and we would work very, very closely together. However, I only have room on my calendar to take 12 weight loss strategy sessions over the next 4 days, and there's a lot of people watching this webinar right now. So if you think that this might be what you've been looking for the last 5-10 years, I encourage you to book a free personal call with me right now, where we'll talk about you. So click the button below this video if you're interested in applying. And what I'll tell you is there's a really short application that you have to fill out. And if you qualify, then I will invite you to talk on the phone, and we'll talk for free on the phone. We'll talk about you, and we'll see if maybe you're someone that would be a good fit to work or to be in the program with me. And if not, that's totally fine. I will hook you up with some resources that'll be helpful for you. So if you're interested in finally getting your shit figured out for you, click that button below the screen. Also, don't forget your Healthy Weight Loss Now blueprint. It's been so amazing being on this webinar with you. I would love to hear from you. I highly, highly encourage you to apply. Again, click the button below that says apply now. You'll fill out the quick application. You will choose the date and the time that we talk on the phone. You'll get sent to my calendar. You'll decide if you're going to do phone call or video chat or whatever. And then I'll let you know if your application was accepted or not. And if it was, we'll talk on the phone. So the website is up here on the screen as well. You can also go directly there. www.meetme.so/Trisha Mandis. It has been such a pleasure. I hope you gained so much from this, and I wish you all the best on your journey. Love and leafy greens, Trish.